Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the first day of this beautiful month of May. It is 7 o'clock and we bring you the latest news from our part of the state. Schumann Park residents have filed a complaint regarding the extensive road construction on S10 and Route 56, which has been ongoing for over a year. The County Board of Commissioners will be holding a meeting next week to review their $3 million contract with construction company CPE Bach Enterprises. The CEO of Bach Enterprises, Carl Phillips, said the roads were in a classic state of disrepair after the harsh winter and the company will need an extension on their deadline. The Board of Commissioners had hoped to see the roads finished last month. Now let's go over to our weather forecast. A nice and balmy start to the month. How's it looking, Beth? Hi, good morning everybody. We have some great weather for you today. It's a bright and sunny start to May. Temperatures are a bit above average for the start of the month. We've got 55 in Mount Bailey, 57 in Bromstown, a little bit warmer as we go down to Paganese, 64 degrees, and a nice balmy 62 in Schumann Park. Off to the west, it's a little bit cloudy in Lilyville at the moment, but temperatures are up a few degrees from yesterday and the winds are calm. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. It includes another day just like today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday looking like a great start to a sunny May. But then Saturday and Sunday, the forecasts are predicting a little bit of rain and then even a chance of some thunderstorms Sunday evening. So be careful on the roads out there. We'll get a nice pick-me-up on Monday with that sunshine coming back and a return to the 60s. That's the check of your forecast. I'm meteorologist Beth with the Early Warning Forecast Center at Channel 7. Back to you, Liz. A new trend is sweeping the county: catwalking. Owners have been spotted taking their feline friends out for walks in the park. We sent our community investigator Dan to check it out. Some say it's harder than it looks.
Made it probably 50 feet. Now there's a distraction. There's kids playing on the bridge over there, so she's kind of fixated on it. But patience and dedication. We'll get through this. Just like that, we're walking with a kitty on a leash.
Others haven't been quite so successful. Apparently cats are not quite as keen on taking walks as dogs. Some resist being put in a harness. Some think the leash is a toy, and others just want to get away. I have a kitty at home too. I don't think she'd be so happy leaving her comfortable couch. Now over to Bachton Middle School in Baroque County, which is holding its annual Suzuki show this week. Students submit videos of themselves playing from each book in the Suzuki series, and 5th grader Eliza DeCapo was voted Best Performance from Book 1 for her cheerful rendition of the May song. Hey, that's perfect for this month. Let's hear a clip now. You can hear Eliza and the other winners at the Bachton Middle School annual Suzuki show this week on Thursday at 7 p.m. Thanks for tuning in to Viva 7 Community News on this lovely Tuesday on the 1st of May. And remember, you can get news and updates anytime on the Channel 7 app. Thanks for joining us and have a great day. everybody. I hope that you enjoyed that little made-up news clip, and I want to share a few tips for learning the May song. So the first thing I would do when you're learning this song is I would actually play it in the scale that it's written. So you can either ask a teacher or you can figure out what scale a song is in by its key signature. So at the very beginning we have 3 sharps, and that means that we're in the scale of A major. So as a warm-up, you can play an A major scale, which starts on A and works its way up step by step until the next A. So you could play it like this. And then you can go backwards, and your second and third finger should be touching. That way on the way up, your second finger is on the tape, if you have tapes, and that's a C sharp next to a D. And on the E string, it would be a G sharp, a 2, next to an A, next to the third finger. You can also change up the rhythm. I like to double my scales, so you can play 2 times each note like this. And then making your way down. The next tip I want to share with you is the rhythm in the first measure. So right at the beginning of the song we have a slightly tricky rhythm. It's a dotted quarter, 8th note, and 2 quarter notes. So as you might have seen in my other videos, I like to make up words to rhythm. I find it more natural and easier to feel a rhythm with words than to just count it. The way to count it would be 1 and 2 and 3, 4. But instead I made up the words, May is bright and sunny. And you can actually say that out loud or just in your head when you're playing it. So the first measure goes like this. May is bright and sunny. And I would recommend just doing that measure a bunch of times in a row, because when you've got a tricky rhythm, you want to do it as many times as you can to feel like you have the sense of the rhythm. So I would do it like at least 3 or 4 times in a row. Again, May is bright and sunny, like that, and you can just loop it until you feel like you got it. The second measure isn't so tricky. It's quarter, 8th, half note, but I still made up words to it. And it's time to go outside. So that one goes. And the half note you hold for 2 beats, so that's why it's the word outside. So time to go outside. So then you can put it all together. So you've got May is bright and sunny, time to go outside. And it works when you say the words out loud or if you say them in your head once you've got the sense of the rhythm. The next tip I have applies to the whole piece, and it's for playing in tune. So instead of trying to play all the notes in tune, which we should try to put our fingers in the right places, I think it's actually easier to work in layers and think about one finger at a time. So the third finger, for me, I think, really centers a piece and helps to keep the other fingers sort of in check. So I like to play like a line of the song or a few measures, just thinking about one finger, thinking about that third finger and making sure it actually goes right in its own spot. A lot of you probably have tapes and you want to make sure your finger goes right on top of the tape. On the violin, if you're off even a couple of millimeters, a little bit too low or a little bit too high, the note sounds a little bit off. It sounds a little out of tune. So if you play the first line, you can think about every time you use a third finger, making sure it falls exactly in the same spot. You can actually look at your finger, or you can really feel to make sure it's in the same spot each time. So here I would play the first line and feel that third finger. Here it is. Again. Another one. And really you could do that with helpful with the third finger to keep the other fingers around sort of grounded. So you could try that with a measure or a line or even the whole piece, just thinking about landing that third finger in tune in the same spot each time. So the second tip I have is about the dynamics in line 2. Whenever we have something that repeats in music, we always want to make it sound a little bit different so that the listener doesn't go, oh, okay, I know that already, and sort of space out. We always want to keep things interesting. So the second line goes like this. It's got 2 parts to it, and they repeat. Same thing. But not exactly the same, because actually the dynamic for the first 2 measures is mezzo forte, which is medium loud, and the dynamic for the next 2 measures is piano, which is really soft. So that's a nice big difference. We have a big range of dynamics. You could play super loud, fortissimo. You could play forte, or mezzo forte, or mezzo piano, or pianissimo, really quiet. So mezzo forte to piano is a jump of 2 dynamics. So you actually have a nice big difference there. And you can even exaggerate, make the mezzo forte a little bit louder and the piano really quiet so that there's a really big difference. So if I exaggerate it, you'll hear it sounds almost like an echo. And then it keeps the listener, whoever's listening, your friends, your parents, your teacher, whoever's around you, or even just yourself, you'll hear that, there's a theme, and something's a little bit different the second time around. And it kind of keeps us interested, keeps us engaged. And the last tip I have for you is to think about the feeling that the song gives you, what kind of character the song is in. So sometimes we can figure out the feeling or the character of a song depending on the title. And the title for this one is the May song. So we probably are not playing a sad and gloomy song because the month of May is very sunny and cheerful. So already probably we're playing a song that has a cheerful character to it. We can also figure out the feeling of the song sometimes from the scale, like the A major scale is pretty bright and cheerful. If you were playing a song in this kind of a scale, you might get a different feeling from that. That was an E flat minor scale that I just played. That's a pretty gloomy scale. So we have an A major scale, we have a song that's called May Song, and even the first measure has a rhythm that's sort of a cheerful and hop-skippity a little. So because of that short little C sharp, we are starting the song already kind of feeling bouncy and light and cheerful. So what does it mean to feel a character in a song? I think that it has to do with our imagination. So if we put ourselves in a sort of frame of mind, if we imagine that it's the month of May, or if we imagine that we just finished school and we're running outside with our friends, or if we imagine that, we're hanging out with the people that we like best and we're in a cheerful mood, then when we play our instruments, somehow the music comes out actually sounding the way that we feel. It's almost hard to explain, but if you sort of are feeling kind of gloomy and lethargic and not really wanting to practice right now, then oftentimes, even if you're playing a cheerful sounding song, it'll come out sounding gloomy and lethargic and like you don't want to practice, right? So our mindset actually affects the way that a song sounds. So here's the May song, a cheerful song. If I'm not thinking about being cheerful, then I'm just kind of playing it blah, like this. Now here's the May song. If I imagine it's bright and sunny outside, I just had a really good day, and I'm in a super cheerful mood. which one you like better, but I think that putting yourself in a certain mindset and knowing what the feeling of a song is will actually make it really fun to listen to and will give it a lot of character and flavor. I hope you guys enjoyed this mini class and that you got some good tips for your own journey on learning the May song. And you can check out the other videos on my channel for more Suzuki songs and more mini classes. So I'll see you guys next time.